ahead and start it. Okay, the other thing I almost forgot to say is when you do leg exercises, I showed you over in the training center over there how to do like leg presses and leg extensions and leg curls, and I said this is the wrong way to train. This is the wrong way to train your legs. And the reason is because your body doesn't work that way. Those muscles don't work in isolation. Okay, so when you train the legs, you have to think in terms of training movements and what the legs actually do in real life. So that's why the squat is a much better exercise than all of those. Now that doesn't mean if someone goes over there and does leg extensions and leg curls, they're an evil person or something, or they're going to purgatory. I mean, I just don't look at it that way. If I could counsel them, I would tell them you better do squats first. But if I had the time, I'd do squats, and I do leg extensions too and leg curls. But I know that the research that we have that's used electromyography shows without a doubt that the vasti muscles get a much greater stimulation from doing squats than they do from doing leg extensions. So it's like, why do leg extensions? If you need to really work these muscles, you should be doing squats, and then you can do leg extensions afterwards to give them a little bit extra work. No problem with that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do another warm-up set, and I'm going to also tell you that you can do this too. Now, one thing I found as I got older is it seems like my skin got more sensitive back here and it get crusty and flaky from where I put the bar when I was doing back squats. So I'm like, all right, maybe I'm turning into a wimp or something. I never used a towel before, but don't be beneath putting a towel over your back like that to help out. So I'm going to go ahead and show you again, and I'm going to also emphasize the breathing. The way you want to do these squats with a breathing pattern is you take in a big breath of air. Before you descend, you hold it, and then you expel it as you're coming up. And I'll over-exaggerate my breathing so that you can hear it. Okay? So I face the rack. Yeah. Step under it. Step back. Notice I'm coming up on my toes. If you come up all the way on your toes, you don't need to do any other exercise for your legs. You don't need to do leg heel raises. You can just do squat, heel raise all in one exercise, like this. Etc. And then set it down with both legs. Now, when I was young, I just step under a squat bar and I just go boom, 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 like that. But now, I'm very careful. I'm very careful. So I want to make sure that my squats are symmetrical. It's really easy if you're not careful, especially when you have an artificial hip here. You're doing squats without realizing it. All of a sudden you're squatting like this. You're favoring one leg. And that creates more pressure on the left side of the spine too. So that'll cause an injury over time. And it'll also cause knee problems. So sometimes I'll get done doing my exercising and maybe my right knee will hurt, or something will hurt, or something will feel all out of whack. And I think it's really important to remember there's nothing wrong with the squat. So some people, when something like that happens, they say, oh, this squat's a bad exercise, I shouldn't do it. No. If I've got pain any place after doing squats, there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with what I'm doing. And so I have to be sensitive to that and be willing to change. And so when I get a pain here or there, I think about it and I come back and I straighten things out and I make sure that my feet are in line and I'm doing everything very carefully. And then the other thing that's really important, I mentioned before, is you've got to do some other things afterwards. Like I always stretch and I always lengthen out my spine. Now usually I use parallel bars and get up on those and just let my legs hang down to open up the intervertebral spaces and give your discs a little bit more room to breathe. But out here I'll just demonstrate the concept like this. And I just hang from here, and just the weight of my legs will open up those spaces between the vertebrae, and it's good for your back to do this. So if you ever start getting a stiff back, you want to do this. And then the other thing that's really important, I mentioned before, stretch the hip flexors. I have a little ankle weight here that I can use for that purpose. And it helps pull the psoas major and the iliacus and stretch them out a little bit better like this. And of course you always want to do these stretches too. So it's really important to stretch when you get done lifting. Okay? I think that's good.